Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
The original Jackie Robinson Day was rained out back in April, so tonight we will honor the legend. We celebrate number 42. It's Jackie Robinson Day here at Comerica Park. As we welcome you inside the ballpark tonight, beautiful night for baseball. Everyone will wear 42 this evening. Game 2 of this doubleheader featuring the Tigers and the New York Yankees. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemble alongside Riley Allen. Game 2 in this doubleheader. Tigers drop the opener, Rob. But more importantly, tonight we celebrate Jackie Robinson, our yearly chance to pay tribute to the idol.
You know, we've celebrated several Jackie Robinson days, and it really never, ever gets old. And not only are they celebrating Jackie Robinson today, but it's a Negro League weekend here at Comerica Park, so it's very fitting. But Jackie meant a lot to baseball, obviously, but he also meant a lot of people off the field of baseball as well.
All right, so we turn our attention to the game here tonight, and Nicholas Castellanos, 2 more hits in the opener. This guy just keeps ripping the cover off the baseball.
He now has 25 multi-hit games, which ranks him right at the top in all of baseball. And what I really like about Nicholas Castellanos, Mario, is he doesn't get caught up in the fact that Comerica Park is a really big field. So he takes every breaking ball that he gets and he tries to flip them down the left field line. He'll flip some up the middle. He'll hit some down the right field line. He has learned how to hit very well here at Comerica Park. You don't ever hear Nicholas complaining about how big this ballpark is because he's got real good power, real good hand-eye coordination. He keeps his hands inside the baseball, and when he gets that leg kick up and he times it perfectly and he gets that breaking ball, he can drive that out of the ballpark too. So Nicholas hitting about 330 on breaking balls this year, and you only become a really good breaking ball hitter when you kind of mastered hitting that fastball. And Nicholas is about right there now.
Yeah, he's been very good. The Tigers going for the split here this evening, and game 2 of the doubleheader just minutes away. After a short break, we'll go to the Coliseum Studios, and we'll check in with Matt Shepard coming up tonight. How about Mike Fiers? He's on the mound trying to pitch the Tigers to a split. Tigers-Yanks, game 2. It's next.
Sports Detroit is brought to you by Kroger. Visit Kroger.com for great deals, digital coupons, and more. By Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Tigers hoping to split the double dip with the Yankees. Welcome to the Call Sam studio. I'm Matt Shepard. Big night for the Tigers. Soon they will be on the clock as the Major League Baseball draft is underway. The Tigers with the first overall pick. And as soon as that pick is made and Al Avila is available, he will join Mario Impemba and Rod Allen via phone to discuss it. Who will they choose? First time since 1997 they've had the #1 overall pick. In the meantime, we know you're excited for Tigers and Yankees, the rematch on Fox Sports Detroit. It's next.
As we honor Jackie Robinson Day here at the ballpark tonight, and Mike Fiers on the hill for the Tigers. He's presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, Fiers is going to have to be on point here tonight. This Yankees team has won 5 games in a row. They've gotten 54 hits, and nearly half of those have gone for extra bases. You know what Fiers does. Fastball upstairs, 88 to 90. Lots of swings and misses on that pitch. Then he goes to the bottom of the strike zone with a real nice split change and a breaking ball as well.
Here is the lineup that he will face tonight for the Yankees, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. A couple of changes for Aaron Boone. It'll be Gardner, Judge, and Sanchez. Your top 3, Stanton is DHing, followed by Torres and Andujar, and Walker, Austin, and Frazier round out the lineup tonight for the Yankees.
And Brett Gardner's gotten his batting average up to 74 in the last 17 games, which gets him to 263. He's been hot. He was cold earlier this year, but when he's playing the way that he's playing right now at the top of that batting order, it really makes this lineup the Yankees have even more difficult.
Yankees won the opener 7-4, so the Tigers searching for the split as they wrap up this 12-game homestand. They've got 3 coming up in Boston. The team will fly to Boston tonight following this game. Here we go. The nightcap is underway, and Brett Gardner looks at strike 1 right at the belt.
Yeah, speaking of Boston, they are off this evening, so Boston will be waiting for the Tigers when they get there tomorrow evening.
Breezy night here at the ballpark tonight for game 2.
Yeah, a lot of wind blowing out to left field. Anything up in the air towards left field is going to carry out of here tonight. I was really impressed with Luis Severino in the first game of the doubleheader. We've seen him before, but I've never seen him as good as he was here today.
Gardner waiting on the 1-1. Right back up the middle, and it's going to be played there by Goodrum. Had him played nicely. Gardner is out by a step, and 1 gone.
And Oakland University brings you the Tigers starting defense. Couple of changes. And for Ron Gardenhire, Victor Reyes gets to start in left field after performing very well a couple of days ago. Leonis Martin back in center field. Nicholas Castellanos, he's anchored in right. Third to first reads Candelario, Goodrum, Rodriguez, Cabrera, and James McCann back in there catching the evening game.
Here is Aaron Judge batting in the 2 slot. Tigers kept him in check in the opener. He waves and misses 0-1. Judge was 0-4 with 3 strikeouts in game 1. 282 average, 16 home runs. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's Harmonard's big money encounter. The pick is in. It's official. The Tigers have selected Casey Mize with the first overall selection in the 2018 June Amateur Draft.
Well, we had a feeling that it would be Casey Mize. As we were told, he was really the only real difference maker in the draft. I mean, the guy closest to the big leagues, and the Tigers have said all along they were going to take the best player, and Casey Mize clearly was the best player in this draft. I'm excited about that pick.
Excited about the fact that he could be in the big leagues real soon, and that's one of the things that has been said about Mize is that he is major league ready right now.
You know, there is a lot of guys that throw harder in the draft than Casey Mize does. There's a couple of guys that throw 100 miles an hour, but they don't have the same kind of precision with their fastball, the same kind of command that Casey Mize does.
Swing and a miss, and Judge is down on strikes, 2 gone. First punch out of the ball game for Fiers.
And they've given Aaron Judge a steady diet of off-speed stuff here today, and he hasn't gotten loose yet, but Aaron Judge is a real good baseball player. It's a nice pitch there, a little cutter.
Gary Sanchez did not play game 1. He is catching game 2. He is batting third. Sanchez has hit for power this year, but not for average, batting only .205.
Marcus Timms says that of all the players that they have on their team, Gary Sanchez is the best hitter.
He sends a ground ball to short. Nico is there, and out number 3 is Sanchez. Snappy 1-2-3 inning for Mike Fiers. 2 in this doubleheader, and the Tigers going for the split here tonight. And here is the starting lineup for the Tigers, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Candelario, Castellanos, Cabrera, your top 3. Martinez DHing, followed by Goodrum, Martin, McCann. Ronnie Rodriguez heads second base, and Victor Reyes is out and left. And they are facing the right-hander. It's Domingo Germán, presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
And Germán, a tall, slender fella, but he's got a big arm. His fastball goes anywhere from 94 to 96. He'll throw about 40% curveballs here tonight, so expect the Tigers to look for that curveball early and often.
Candelario in the leadoff slot for game 2 with the right-hander on the mound. Jamer followed by Nick, and then Cabrera. It'll dive low, 2 balls and no strikes. Jamer had his 7-game hitting streak come to an end. In game 1, he is 10 hits still on the homestand. 2-0 is belted in the air to right field, going toward the corner, and it's going to be caught there by Judge. 1 gone.
And while we have a moment, let's set the Yankee defense behind Germán, their starting pitcher. And Frazier, Gardner, Judge in the outfield. Third to first, they've got a couple of babies on the left side of the infield. That would be Andujar and Torres. Neil Walker and Tyler Austin on the right side, and Gary Sanchez, the starting catcher.
There's that breeze blowing from right to left, may have knocked that ball down. Here is Castellanos. Nicholas right back at it in game 1 with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored.
Germán will throw his breaking ball nearly 38% of the time here tonight. There's only a couple of other guys in the big leagues that throw their curveball more than that. One guy you can imagine, Lance McCullers, who throws his 43% of the time, and Zach Goody throws his 39% of the time. So special company for Germán in that breaking ball.
And that got him. It nicked him, so Castellanos hit by the pitch.
A little two-seam fastball, got a little too close. And to Castellanos, and might have got his shirt.
Cabrera 1 for 4 in the opener with an RBI. The Tigers got an early run against Severino in game 1, but for the most part, until the 9th inning, they were shut down by Severino. And Cabrera looks at ball 1.
Yeah, Miggy had a big double against Severino in the first inning of game 1. It was a changeup that stayed up that he ripped down the third baseline for a double and an RBI.
.21 driven in for Cabrera. There's a ball inside. Actually got one in the first game, so 22 RBIs from Miggy. Average now at 318.
Don't want to shortchange the big fella.
Nope. Cabrera missing most of the month of May. It'll dive in for a strike. 2-1.
Yeah, there's that breaking ball. Germán likes to throw it a lot. Several Tigers will sit on this pitch at some point in time, but it's a good one. Most of his strikeouts come on that curveball, but that's a good one to hit right there.
High fly ball toward right field. Judge again coming over in fair territory for out number 2. What do you got on Casey Mize here, the #1 overall pick?
Well, his fastball partner goes anywhere from 93 to 97, but he's got outstanding command with that pitch. He had 319 strikeouts in his college career. You take a look at his season numbers this year: 10-5 with a 2.95. 2-time Auburn history, only 2-time All-American, him and Greg Olson. So he looks the part, Mario. He is the part, and I'm glad the Tigers made the decision to draft the best player in the country.
So the Tigers now have added to their fine stable of young pitching. Victor Martinez, the batter. We'll be chatting with The executive vice president of baseball operations and general manager of the Tigers, Al Avila, soon.
And now the Tigers have to get ready for their next pick because they're going to get a really good player at 44 too. You can get a really good player at 44 in the draft.
Here's the shift that is being employed now by the Yankees. The 1-0. 2-0 on Victor.
I don't know if Castellanos is in a running mood, but if you forget about Nicholas, he can steal a base. Even though the catcher behind the dish, Gary Sanchez, has a very strong throwing arm, Herman not paying a whole lot of attention to Nicholas. He's rather slow getting the ball to home plate.
Martinez did not start the opener. Came on as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning and struck out to end the ball game. And because of that, Martinez had his 6-game hitting streak come to an end. Here's the 2-1 from Herman. Swing and a miss out in front. 2-2. Tigers, despite the loss in game 1, still very good at home this year. 19-14 at Comerica. Just off the plate, 3-2. We got a chance to win 8 out of 12 on this homestand, and that's what they keep telling you. Win your home games, try and play 500 on the road, and you're in pretty good shape.
And they've gone up against some pretty good teams in this homestand. Some competitive teams. The Angels, very competitive, although the Tigers handled them.
Runner will go on 3-2, and it's ball 4. Martinez will take a walk. Well, here is Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, announcing that Casey Mize was selected #1 overall, and the emotions of young Casey.
Yeah, big hug for dad, big hug for mom. Looks like his teammates all in attendance as well, so he's well liked. Good character kid, we've heard. Well liked by his teammates.
The draft is currently airing on MLB Network. Here is Goodrum now, 2 on 2 outs. We're in the first. And Nico looks at ball 1. One for 3 in the opener for Goodrum. That included a double in the 9th inning. Tigers put up a fuss in the 9th, scoring a couple of runs, but falling short in the 7-4 loss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nico playing both ends of this doubleheader, shortstop in game 2 and first base in game 1. Iglesias getting the night off in the nightcap. One and 2 now on Nico. Goodrum this spring was in a battle to win the utility role for the Tigers. Alexei Amarisa, veteran, was also in camp. Goodrum was eventually the selection, and he is not disappointed. He has been all over the diamond. He has provided some pop. Swing and a miss. Down he goes, though, and that'll end the inning. No runs, couple of men left. When we come back, we'll talk with Al Avila and get his thoughts on Casey Mize. That's coming up next. Cap, and we are joined now by the Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations and the General Manager of the Tigers, Mr. Al Avila, who is down in Lakeland, Florida right now with a lot of his chief lieutenants down in Lakeland as the #1 selection. Al was just made. Casey Mize, congratulations. When did you guys finally, as an organization, internally decide that Casey was going to be your pick?
We must have lost him. We'll get him back.
We'll get him back. We'll try and reestablish the connection with Al Avila, who's down in Lakeland. Just announced that Casey Mize was the #1 overall pick. Giancarlo Stanton grounds it foul. It'll be Stanton, Torres, and Andujar here in the second. Flyers had a very quick 8-pitch first inning. Stanton in the opener was 1 for 5, scored a run. Ball high, 2-2. Tigers did a really nice job of handling Judge and Stanton in game 1 in this doubleheader.
Yeah, Stanton had that broken bat single against a shift.
Got him, strike 3. Nice start for Flyers. A couple of strikeouts already.
Yeah, Yankees have a very dangerous offensive club. They've got speed, they've got some power, they've got some guys that can really handle the bat. But if you can make your pitches and get ahead, as Flyers has been able to do so far, then you can expand the strike zone and possibly get a called third strike on a nice little breaking ball, as he did there against Stanton. But the key for Flyers is first pitch strikes.
Here is Gleyber Torres. And that bender drops in, strike 1. Well, I think we've established connection now with Al Avila. Al, can you hear us? Al, are you there? All right, still trying to establish a connection with Al Avila.
What is this?
Hey, Al, you there?
Yeah, we're here. Hello.
All right, we finally got you. Sorry about that. We've had some technical problems here tonight, but I guess the first question is talk about Casey Mize. And when as an organization did you decide that he was going to be your pick? All right, we'll try and straighten out our gremlins here on the phone lines. Here's the 2-1. It's drilled in the air toward right center field. Hit pretty good. But it's going to be run down there by Martin. 2 gone. It's going to bring up Miguel Andujar. .293 for Andujar, who is 1 for 4, drove in a run in that first game. And if you're unable to watch game 1, it really was decided by a big inning. It was a 6-run fourth for the Yankees. They built a 7-1 lead early. And Flyers making sure that Andujar didn't get too comfortable. That's it for a strike. 1-1.
Alan Porter is the home plate umpire here this evening. Angel Hernandez was the umpire in the first game. And Flyers will go anywhere from 68 with that really slow breaking ball up to 73 miles an hour. So he gives you different looks, different breaks, different speeds with the breaking ball, which makes it awfully deceptive.
Here's the 2-1. Drilled towards center field. Martinez on the run. Still going. Can't get it. It'll go all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Andujar. And he will stop at second. Leonis rather almost got to that ball.
And Leonis was playing Andujar over in the right center field gap. And Andujar hit an absolute seed to center field. Martin got a great jump. He took a great route to get to the ball. But the ball had some backspin on it and he just missed it. You saw him talking to his fellow outfielders, telling them that I just missed that ball.
2-out double for Andujar, and that'll bring up Neil Walker. First hits of the ball game for the Yankees here in the nightcap. Walker gets the start at second base in game 2. .218 for the veteran infielder. Ball 1. Walker was signed kind of late. It was about mid-March. Spring training was also in full flow down in Florida, and they signed Walker as a veteran to add to their ball club. Of course, they got the youngsters and Gleyber Torres and Andujar. Swing and a miss. And Walker's a guy that's been around a while and has put up good numbers.
And Walker getting the start tonight because of his numbers against Fires. 409. 9 for 22 with a homer and 5 strikeouts. And prior to tonight, most of those numbers while he was wearing the Pittsburgh Pirates uniform. Good pitch there. 90 miles an hour with that fastball. Fires won't get much above 90.
Fires in his last start against the Angels, 5 2/3, 7 hits, only 1 run. He struck out 4 in that game. Now the 1-2. Ooh, good pickup by McCann on a ball that bounced in. Two and 2 on Walker. Yankees signed him to a 1-year deal in March. Most of his time in the major leagues with the Pirates, but he's also played with the Mets and the Brewers. Here's the 2-2. Lifted foul, back out of play. Tyler Austin waiting on deck. Walker has a silver slugger in his past. That was back in 2014 when he hit 23 home runs with the Pirates. Trying to knock in a 2-out run here after the double by Andujar. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. 3 strikeouts for Fires. They strand a 2-out double. Second in a scoreless ball game. I believe we finally have our technical problems all figured out. Al Avila joins us from down in Florida after selecting Casey Mize with the #1 overall pick. And Al, when as an organization did you guys finally home in on Casey as your #1 pick? When was that decision made?
This weekend. Obviously, we were following him and several other players throughout the past year, going into the spring, and then we all started to meet here earlier last week, and we ended up making our final decision this weekend, just yesterday before today's draft, and obviously it was a consensus between all the scouts and all the cross-checkers that we have here.
Oh, there's a ground ball off the hand of Herman. It's going to go into center field. Martin taking the turn. He's going to second, and he is safe. Leadoff man is on for the Tigers.
Al, you personally, how many times did you see Casey Mize?
I got to see him twice. Once when he pitched against Florida in Gainesville, and then the other time at Auburn when they pitched against LSU. We also watched him plenty of times on video, and when he pitched on TV. So obviously we followed all his outings, and we felt that he was the best player in the draft this year, the one that would come and give us the best impact, and we're very happy to have him. We feel he's advanced, and he's going to be a really great addition to the organization.
Al, when you talk about the fact that he's the best player in the draft, but you also use the word advanced, so how much did that come into play as well, knowing that Casey probably is not too far away from the big leagues?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his overall numbers in college, and particularly this year, they're outstanding. They're really off the charts, and his repertoire of pitches are excellent. They're all either plus or plus pitches with a mid-90s fastball, the slider, the split finger changeup, the cutter. So he's got a good repertoire, and he's got a good idea of how to pitch. And obviously, the strikeout ratio to walks is it's off the charts. So, you put all that together, and you have an advanced pitching prospect.
Al, what's the plan for Casey Mize? I know in the past sometimes you guys have taken a college pitcher, and because they pitch so much in college, you guys will kind of shut them down the remainder of the season, maybe have them start to participate in instructional league. But what's your plan for Casey Mize after you guys are able to sign him?
Well, I think it depends also on how far they go here in postseason play. I know that I believe he's scheduled to pitch again this Friday, but it just depends on how far they go into this, if they go into the College World Series, and how much he pitches the rest of the summer. And then at that point, we can take a look and see how we're going to if he will pitch for us a little bit this year in the minor leagues, or if we will wait till to the fall. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Al, I heard you made some comments earlier this week. Somebody asked you about the pressure that goes with #1 overall, and I thought you said something interesting in that. Look, there's pressure in every pick in the first round, whether it's 1-1 or whether it's the 23rd or 24th pick. So, I think if you take that attitude toward the draft, I mean, all of these picks are important, aren't they? Number 44 is going to be important.
That's correct. I mean, every pick in the draft, every pick in the first round or in the draft is important. There's pressure to get the right guy. When you're taking the first pick, really the biggest thing obviously is you have more attention applied to it. But you would have to think that there's really a lot more pressure. Let's say if you're picking 30, than if you're picking 1, because you got to worry about who's going to go 29 guys before you. So picking 1 gives us the opportunity to be out front and get the guy you want. So it's more of the extra attention that you have to deal with more so than anything, including the player that you're picking too. He's going to get a little extra attention than, let's say, the guy who's picked 30th, and so that comes along with it too.
Al, how much has analytics come into the draft nowadays? I mean, just about every team is heavy in the analytics. I know the Tigers are very much into analytics these days, but how much do analytics play a part in, say, drafting a player like Casey Mize as far as the spin rate on fastballs and breaking balls and such?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, all the information that goes into it, from the analytics point of view, it's huge. We have our own in-house model, and really it plays into it even more so as we get deeper into the draft. After today is over, our board, the first few columns, is going to blow up, and we're going to have to reconvene and regroup and put more names for tomorrow, and then the same thing for the next day. And so we already have it based, ranked through the analytics in combination with our scouts reports, and we break it down to where it's all stats or just scouting reports, and then we have a combination of scouting reports with the actual numbers. So it's really complicated, but we have it to where it's an in-house model, and all we have to do is look at that model. We have all the information from our scouts, plus we have the analytics of what those opinions are. Putting it all together allows us to make the best possible decision. And in Casey Mize's situation, obviously he was very highly ranked, and the highest ranked guy in our board.
How does somebody like him, sorry Mario, go undrafted in high school? Did he overprice himself in high school, Al?
Well, everybody has different situations why that happens. Obviously he had the ankle injury, I think, that affected that situation. But there's a huge difference between high school senior and a college junior. I coached college baseball for 10 years, and I can tell you that from physical and mental aspects of it, there is a big difference. There's a lot of high school players that will get drafted, they don't sign, and then all of a sudden they go to college and become first-rounders. And I've seen it work opposite also, where there's a highly touted high school kid, goes to college, and doesn't have a good college career. So there's really those years are really important in the development of a player. So a lot of different things can happen in those 3 years.
Well, Al, congratulations again on adding a terrific arm to your stable of already terrific arms here with the Tigers. Good luck on pick number 44, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. I'm going downstairs right now.
All righty, Al. Thank you. That's Al Avila, the Vice President of Baseball Operations and the General Manager at the Tigers, who is obviously excited about picking up Casey Mize, adding him to the system.
Yeah, very nice of him to take some time out for us. His schedule's awfully busy down in Lakeland, Florida.
Well, the Tigers, in the meantime, have picked up a run. First career RBI for Ronnie Rodriguez, whose sac fly scores Leonis Martin.
Good base running by James McCann as well. Even though Judge in right field has a rocket for an arm, he was backing up when he caught that fly ball. So McCann, he was able to get back and tag up from first and get himself into scoring position for Victor Reyes. Good to see McCann out there. I was a little worried when I was watching the game yesterday when he left with some side soreness or whatever they said. I mean, first thing that came to my mind was the oblique.
Always get concerned with that, but James, after taking game 1 off, is out there here in game 2. Ball lifted in the air to center, fairly deep playable though. Brett Gardner hauls it in. McCann tagging up again. He'll come to third base.
You can run on the arm of Gardner all day, every day. I told you about the outfield arms in the first game the Yankees had out there. That was Frazier, Hicks, and also who was in right field? That was Stanton. Those guys have really good arms.
2 gone now with the man at third. That'll bring up Chamber Candelario. Chamber fly to right field in his first at bat. Double, walk, wild pitch, sac fly, scoring a run. Chamber looks at a bender in for a strike on the outer edge. Oh, and 2 now on Candelario. Oh, for 4 in the opener. He punched out a couple of times as well. Foul back. Germán is 25 years old, a native of San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. Struck out 7 5 2/3 in his last start. Germán missing much of the 16 season, had Tommy John in 2015.
He was pretty good in his first start of the year against the Cleveland Indians. He hasn't been as good in his last 3 starts.
Inside, almost hit him. Candy somehow got out of the way there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, not a bad 0-2 pitch by Germán. 0-2, make a guy move his feet. We'll see if he goes back in there again or if he tries to start that breaking ball off the plate outside to catch the outside corner, which he'll do a lot with 2 strikes.
Castellanos would be next if Candelario keeps it going here. Germán was originally signed by the Marlins and traded to the Yankees. Swing and a miss. Out in front, struck him out. Inning over. Tigers settle for a run. They leave a man at third. Jackie Robinson Day here at the ballpark tonight. Here are some particulars on Mr. Jackie Robinson.
He was a Rookie of the Year. He also won a batting title, 6 World Series appearances, a World Series title in 1955.
Meanwhile, Mike Fiers will go back to the mound. He's got Tyler Austin to lead things off. Fiers gave up a double to Andujar in the second, but he struck out Neil Walker. And the Yankees stranded a man. Austin, Frazier, and Gardner for the Yanks. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fiers started the year on the disabled list. Back issues during spring camp slowed him down. He spins off another but misses inside. There's Marcus Thames.
Yep. Hitting coach for the New York Yankees. He was the assistant hitting coach last year, and now he's the main guy.
3-1. Well, he's
Mark,
got
look,
some guys to deal with on this Yankees team, and he's got a pretty good offense to work with.
He's looking pretty chill down there, ain't he? No stress. Marcus is a tremendous individual. He was well liked here in Detroit.
High pop-up, shallow center field, Martin. One gone. Well, from now until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow night, purchase any June through August University Days ticket package for as little as $29, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. All packages include a mezzanine ticket, FSD University Days themed hat, and a $5 donation. Go to tigers.com/summer break. Take advantage of University Days. There's a check swing strike on Clint Frazier.
Man, what do you remember most about your college days?
Very little, trust me.
Oh, come on.
Nah,
you were not a bad actor. What
so
was
long ago.
Yeah.
How do you know? You weren't back there.
I didn't go to college.
Nothing about me.
Come on now. I know you were not a bad actor.
You know what I guess I remember the most is just the relationships and the friends you make in college that kind of stick with you through the years.
I've heard that from a lot of people, the networking.
Yeah, it really is. And I remember the day I left Michigan State was one of the saddest days of my life because you had so much fun the previous 4 years.
Yeah. And a lot of times you will never, ever see a lot of those people ever in life again.
No, but you do keep in touch with some that are very close to you. There's a drive to left and a base hit. So Frazier is on with a 1-out single. That'll bring up Brett Gardner. Gardner bounced out in the first. Did not play in the opener and got that one off. Aaron Hicks led off and played center field in game 1. Gardner came in batting .377 over his last 17. You know, this Yankees team has a lot of star power. They've got big names, but it's Brett Gardner that has been a New York Yankee the longest. He is their longest tenured player.
He signed with them way back in 2005, right?
He did.
He's only one of 5 players to get 1,000 hits as a drafted Yankee player. Drafted by the Yankees to get 1,000 hits. He's one of 5. That just kind of goes to show you how the Yankees over the years, man, have just always gone out and gotten the best players in the free agent market, and they necessarily hadn't developed their own talent other than to trade that talent to bring in those stars they've traded for in the past.
Well, the other 4 is an impressive list. Thurman Munson, Don Mattingly, Jorge Posada, and Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter.
Fires now with the 1-1. Two and 1 on Gardner with Judge waiting on deck.
And Fires is a guy that will really test your patience. And because he never really gives in to the strike zone, even when he falls behind like 2-1 right now to Gardner, he's going to make Gardner hit his pitch. And he has enough confidence to throw that pitch. Lots of Yankee jerseys here in attendance. Mattingly, Jeter. Yankees always well represented, just like the Tigers are well represented when they leave Comerica Park. I wish the Tigers had that relationship with the Toronto Blue Jays again, because Tiger fans would be in Toronto just like the Blue Jays fans were here at Comerica Park. That was a real nice rivalry back in the day.
And it was a really cool 3-game series we just played here. It was almost half and half. A lot of Jays fans here. Close. Frazier just got back in.
It's probably going to be crowded as well when we go over to Toronto, because it's right around the 4th of July weekend. Ooh, did he get him before he got that foot on the base?
Tigers trying to decide now if they want to challenge. They do not. Playing slightly to pull on Gardner. He tried to bunt. Did he offer? Skipped out of the way, and it's ball 3. Now pulled it back. Fire's trying to navigate through a lineup that hits a lot of home runs. He has allowed 11 homers this year, most on the staff. Yankees hit 3 in the opener. Runner goes, and is drilled in the air toward right center field. Martinez on the run, still going, won't get it, up against the wall. This will get a run in. Gardner is on his way to third, and he's in with a stand-up triple.
Fiers, for the most part, had done a very nice job through the first couple of innings of getting ahead of the Yankees hitters, but this is a 3-1 count. And he threw him a fastball at the top of the strike zone at 89, and Gardner didn't miss it. And Martin not able to run it down. It's in Triple's alley, especially with the speed of Gardner. There's Frazier. He's going to score easily because he finally finds the baseball when it's in right center field, so he scores. But Gardner gets himself another triple. And we were talking about Gardner and the fact that he's been hot lately at the top of that batting order for the Yankees.
So the infield in a couple of steps now as Judge stands in. And there is strike 1 on Judge.
That's dangerous, playing the infield in with this cat swinging the bat, man. This guy, his exit velocity is about 110 to 115. On occasion, as you said earlier, 117 this year.
He did that against Boston on a home run. There's ball 1 high.
He's got tremendous power to all fields. I mean, right field, center field, left field. There's no ballpark that can hold Aaron Judge.
Well, with all of the home runs and runs driven in, and there were a ton last year, both of those, he hit 52 homers and knocked in 114, but he struck out 208 times.
Ooh.
That is a lot of Ks.
And Fiers can't throw him a fastball here, I don't think.
Grounded toward third foul.
Yeah, he didn't. He threw him that split changeup in a 2-1 count. I mean, you just cannot throw a fastball by Aaron Judge. But now you can, since you've thrown him that little split changeup. You might be able to sneak a heater by him.
Unless you think Judge is an all or nothing type hitter, he batted .284 last year.
He had 100 walks too.
Got him, strike 3. Judge caught looking. It's the second time he's fanned in this one.
The previous pitch, the 2-1 split changeup, set up this 2-2 fastball at 91, and he couldn't pull the bat off of his shoulder because he was looking for something soft again, and that's another strikeout of Aaron Judge in the series. You cannot guess with 2 strikes. Well, I guess you can.
3 strikeouts in game 1, 2 here in game 2 for Judge. That'll bring up Gary Sanchez now. The infield backs up with 2 outs.
And Gary Sanchez likes to swing at the first pitch.
Oh for 1 for Sanchez. Yankees have tied it up, trying to take the lead here with the man at third and 2 outs. Two and 0. Sanchez last year 33 homers, won the Silver Slugger Award. .90 miles an hour right at the knees of Sanchez. 2-1.
And Fiers doing a very nice job of keeping the Yankee hitters off balance. They're looking for soft stuff, and he's throwing fastballs over the heart of the plate that they're not pulling the trigger on, and which tells the catcher and the pitcher that they might be sitting on a breaking ball. So if you decide to throw that breaking ball, just make sure you get it in an area where they can't do a whole lot of damage against the pitch.
Ball 3. $50 now for Fires. And he walked him, ball 4, so Sanchez will get a pass. It's going to bring up Stanton, and we tell you to stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. We will be selecting the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Giancarlo Stanton struck out in the second. 1 for 6 in the doubleheader.
To give you an idea of how Mike Fiers thinks, Stanton is 1 for 9 in his career against Fiers. So after he fell behind Sanchez, he just didn't give him anything to hit because he feels like he can get Stanton out if he makes his pitches.
1 ball and 1 strike.
And I think that's something that Fiers does very well, maneuvering through a lineup, kind of picking who he wants to pitch to and who he doesn't want to pitch to, depending on what kind of situation he's facing.
Got to pick your battles sometimes. And he's had positive numbers against Stanton. Two and 1 now on Giancarlo Stanton, who of course came over from the Marlins, won the MVP award in the National League last year. Here's the 2-1. 3-1. I know Stanton is good, and certainly he is an MVP and hits a lot of home runs, but there's got to be an extra layer of pressure when you come to New York. A lot is going to be expected of you.
Yes, for sure. And if you get off to a slow start, I mean, it can compound. You can start to press a little bit. And them Yankee fans, too, they will boo you. They will let you know when you're not performing.
And they did early on in April. Oh, look out. He's hit by the pitch, and Stanton, little stare out there for Mike Fiers, who throws his hands out, and Stanton now jawboning, and James McCann will get in between him.
Well, isn't Fiers the one who hit Stanton in the face years ago?
The one. And that's why Stanton wears that face guard.
Yeah. And Fiers looking at Stanton like, I didn't try to hit you, but Stanton, I guess he wasn't having it. Have they issued warnings? They've issued warnings.
They have. Alan Porter has issued warnings, and now McCann is talking to him. Now again, keep in mind these two teams brawled last year here at Comerica Park in August.
What does Miggy need?
Miggy wants Gardy to come out, and so Gardy now is being summoned out there. Not sure what Cabrera's hot about, but he immediately called out Gardenhire. Bases will be loaded. Chris Bosio, the pitching coach, was walking out, and it looked like Cabrera was waiting Bosio back and telling Gardy to come out. And umpires will go to the mound and have a chat with Fiers here.
And fastball got Stanton on the elbow. Obviously, Stanton didn't appreciate it. He's probably thinking about a couple of years ago when Fiers hit him in the face. You can read the lips of Fiers telling Stanton, I'm not trying to hit you.
Here's the isolation on Miggy here. Calling Gardy out. Gardy had a little chat with the umpires. So they're loaded now for Gleyber Torres. Gardner, Sanchez, Stanton, the base runners. Fiers will throw from the windup. Ball 1 to Torres, head bounced in. Two out of three this year with the bags full for Gleyber Torres. And he fly to center in the second. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Yeah, Gleyber Torres has the ability, even though he's very young, to slow the game down when runners are in scoring position. Yeah, his batting average at .351 with 5 homers and 23 driven in. So he doesn't put any extra pressure on himself.
Oh, McCann was even a little bit jumpy on that one. Didn't get the call.
I think McCann was crossed up, to be honest with you, Mario. I don't know if he knew a curveball was coming, judging by the way that he caught it, and it might have cost Fiers a strike. Look at McCann. It's almost like he's looking for a fastball, and that was a strike, but Al Porter did not see that that was a strike because I think James might have blocked his view.
Fouled away, 2-2 now on Torres. We found out in game 1 how quick strike the Yankees offense can be. They scored 6 runs on 6 hits in the 4th inning and busted that one open. So Fiers trying to keep that from happening here in the 3rd. Fiers taking too long now. Torres steps out. 7th man to bat in the inning. They got a run on an RBI triple by Brett Gardner. Spoiled by Torres. Gleyber was the rookie of the month in the month of May in the American League. Fouled away another one. Torres hit .317 last month, but he hit 9 homers in May. Hit his 10th of the season in game 1 in this doubleheader, was an opposite field home run.
And Fiers already up to 62 pitches, and the ratio not great today. 29 balls, 33 strikes. But this Yankees offense will do that to you.
Little chopper back to the mound. They'll get the force at home. Nice play by Fiers to end the inning. They will leave him loaded. An RBI triple by Gardner ties it up. Al Porter and Mike Fiers with a chat. the leadoff man. Gardner tied it up. Bernstein advantage as Mr. Castellanos comes to the plate here in the third. Highest batting average this season on breaking balls. What you were talking about in the top of the show here, Rod. This is really progress here.
Well, 338 for Castellanos. Aaron Judge also falls on the list. But one thing I've learned about guys that become really good breaking ball hitters, they kind of master hitting the fastball. And Nicholas has kind of mastered hitting the fastball. He hits the fastball like Miggy. He doesn't try to pull it. He drives it the opposite way. But on breaking balls, he keeps his bat in the strike zone a long, long time, man. He's gotten a lot of hits on off-speed pitches already.
Herman got the benefit of the call on the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
And Nicholas performing like he wants to make his first All-Star team this year. 339 with 6 homers, 33 driven in. 25 multi-hit games for Castellanos.
Ooh, look out. That came at his tower. And the crowd not liking that.
Well, you got to like it, the fact that the youngster ain't afraid to still pitch in, even though warnings have been issued. Get down, ball.
Soft serve into right field. Judge will come on to make the catch. And Castellanos made a bid, but he is denied. One away now for Miguel Cabrera. Well, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Miggy looks at a strike.
Yeah, I think Miggy might be up there sitting on that breaking ball now. He has watched Herman enough to know that he's probably going to get one.
That came up and in.
And Sanchez held the target high for Herman. He did not hold it inside, but he held it over the plate. But Herman has a tailing fastball at 95-96. It's running in on the right-handers. I don't think he's doing it by design. He just got natural movement with his fastball.
Back to the dugout area and out of the reach of Austin. 1-2 the count on Cabrera. Miguel with a 5-gamer going. Herman originally signed by the Marlins, traded to the Yankees with Nathan Eovaldi in a deal that involved Martin Prado back in 2014. He's gone 2-2 now on Cabrera. Martinez on deck. Slow roller towards short, gobbled up there by Torres. Cabrera's out, 2 gone. That'll bring up Victor Martinez. Yankees are hoping that Herman can go at least 6, if not more than that. They are 26-2 when their starters go 6+ in a game. And they got that out of Severino in game 1. Torres, Walker, and Austin all to the right at second base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Look out, ripped up the middle into center, and that came sizzling by Herman. 2-out single for Martinez.
Yeah, nice approach here by Victor Martinez. It's a 2-seam fastball. and is tailing away from Victor. And a lot of times those balls go right back up the middle. If you keep that front shoulder in there, Victor keeps that shoulder in there, that head down, and puts a really good swing on that heater thrown by Herman.
It'll bring up Nico Goodrum. The Tigers now have their second hit. Goodrum looks at a ball outside. Nico struck out in the first inning. Got under that one and skied it to center field, where Brett Gardner is waiting. That'll end the inning. No runs, one hit, one man left. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
MLB draft, the Detroit Tigers select Casey Mize, a right-handed pitcher from Auburn University in Auburn, Alabama.
Our 1-800-CALL-SAM call to the game. The Tigers selecting Casey Mize. That selection was announced a little bit after 7 o'clock tonight.
Casey Mize very emotional about being drafted #1 in the country. A lot of hard work goes into being good enough to be drafted first in the country. That's quite an honor.
He is only the second two-time All-American in Auburn history. Greg Olson the other. But Mize now joins a stable of outstanding young pitching the Tigers have.
We saw Greg Olson in Boston, and he actually gave us an outstanding scouting report on Casey Mize, what, about 2 months ago?
Yeah, Greg in Baltimore, his son plays with the Auburn team, and so in going down to see his son play, he has seen Casey pitch several times. And he was so adamant, he will be in your rotation in September, I'm telling you.
It's exactly what he said.
So we'll see. 1-2 on Duhar. 2-2. We're tied at 1 here in the 4th inning. Ripped to third off the glove of Candelario. Andujar might get the second on this. He will. It's going to be a leadoff double. It's his second double of the game.
And Candy tried to backhand that ball. Ball looked like it hopped right over his glove and trickled into foul territory, and that allowed Andujar to get to second base.
Yankees have 4 hits They've got 3 doubles, or make it 2 doubles and a triple. Neil Walker stands in, struck out his only time up. On the ground to the right side, this will advance the runner as Rodriguez throws out Walker. Productive out there for Neil Walker, 1 gone. That'll bring up Tyler Austin. Well, these Yankees, Rod, are going to be locked in a duel, you would imagine, all season long with the Boston Red Sox in the American League East, and that is going to be quite a race before it's done. 2 teams that are among the best, not only in the American League, but in all of baseball. Infield in a couple of steps now. Austin fly to center field his only time up. Tyler's the guy that spent parts of 8 seasons in the minor leagues with the Yankees. Well, he has certainly paid his dues. Couldn't hold up. 0-2.
And that fastball that Mike features at the top of the strike zone, anywhere from 88 to 91, looks awfully inviting for the hitter. But so many times we watch the hitter swing right through that fastball upstairs. Gardner didn't miss his, though, earlier in the game. He tripled.
Down he goes. Austin is out of there, 2 gone.
And here's that fastball, 89 miles an hour. Real high spin rate on the fastball. The fastball stays on the same plane as when it leaves fires his hand, and that's why he gets so many swings and misses. That's a 4-seamer. A lot of times guys throw fastballs that kind of go down in the strike zone once they get toward home plate, but not Mike Fiers. His fastball stays on the same plane all the way through to the catcher's glove.
Frazier had a single to start their rally in the 3rd. He scored on the triple by Gardner. That tied the ball game up. Clint Frazier certainly knows the excitement of what draft day can be like. He was coming out of high school, rated the top high school player in his draft. First high school position player to be drafted that year.
By the Indians?
By the Indians. Strike on the outer edge, 1-2. .75 now for Mike. You see the 36 pitch 3rd, which really has elevated the pitch count.
And the last thing that you want to do, any team really, is to roll into Boston for a 3 or 4 game series and not have your bullpen intact. And that offense of Boston is so good.
Just a tad low. Not only is that offense so good, but it seems like you just, after a 3-game series there, you're just exhausted.
No doubt. The fans are right on top of you and chirping at you for 9 innings.
Three and 2 now on Frazier. Sweet Caroline is blaring over the PA.
They sing a little bit louder when they're winning, though.
I've noticed that. Well, they're singing loud this year. Gardner on deck. Off the end of the bat. Slowly rolled, and Fiers will take it himself. Crisis averted. No runs. A leadoff double is stranded at 3rd.
been so supportive my whole life. You know, they've taken me to all the practices and the games and the showcases and everything. You know, they've really set me up for success. You know, they've put me around great people. Also want to thank my brother Cody. You know, he's been somebody that I've always wanted to chase and be as good as, because, you know, he's older than me and he played ball, so he really motivated me.
Those are the words of Casey Mize shortly after being selected #1 overall by the Tigers. The draft currently airing on MLB Network, and the Tigers added a good one.
It's nice to have good role models. He talked about his father. He talked about his brother, his parents.
Bouncer up the middle into center, and a base hit for Martin.
And Martin starting to heat up again. He had a double his first time up, even though the ball went off the pitcher's hand and trickled into center field.
Let's check in now with John Keating.
Well, you might hear behind us when James McCann comes up to the plate. His walk-up song is Jimmy Mack, the old Martha Reeves and the Bandela song, a Motown song. Nicholas Castellanos has chosen to go with sort of a slow, sappy, I'm falling in and out of love with you. He says that's about his love affair with baseball, depending on how things are going. But Mario, I'll throw this at you. We found out that Ronnie Rodriguez, the brand new Tiger, actually did his own rapping on his own walk-up song.
We'll have to listen for that when he comes up. John, what would you walk up to if you were a player?
Matt Shepard asked me this on the Tigers Live pregame show. Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody wang chung
You
tonight.
would not.
That's what I went with.
Well, Ronnie Rodriguez due up next, so we'll give it a listen to Ronnie's walk-up tune that he raps on. McCann batting here, and a wave and a miss.
Yeah, ball players want to be rappers, and rappers want to be ball players.
That's for sure. 0-1 on Mack, who walked in the second. Here is Herman's 0-1. Driven toward left field. Ball hit pretty good. It's going to get down. Go to the wall. Here comes Martin to third. They're going to send him home. He's going to score. It's a double and an RBI for McCann.
Well, you knew sooner or later someone would go up there and sit on the curveball that Herman throws 38% of the time. It just happened to be James McCann that got one up in the strike zone. And with Martin and his speed at first base, there was going to be no way that he wasn't going to score. That breaking ball stays up. Really nice swing put on it by James McCann. And by the time Clint Frazier, the left fielder, runs it down, McCann coasting into second and Martin flying toward home plate.
'20th RBI of the year for McCann. Tigers back on top. 2-1 ball game. Still nobody out now for Ronnie Rodriguez. Ball one.
Ronnie Rodriguez has an unorthodox stance, but not only does he have an unorthodox stance, he steps in the bucket. Watch that left foot. And when that left foot comes up and comes down, he's going to be pointing down toward third base. Hips are open. Must be looking for something inside. Watch that left foot.
Grounded toward third. This will not advance the runner. And Rodriguez is out. One gone.
And take one look at the swing of Ronnie Rodriguez. He was on fire down in AAA. But watch that front foot when it gets down on the ground. I mean, he really opens that thing up, and those hips also open up. And that ball that's on the outside part of the plate, all you're going to do is hit it off the end of the bat because you've recommitted to the inside pitch. I mean, there's nothing left to swing at. Thank you.
Victor Reyes now, a chance to drive in a run. Fly to center field in his first at bat. He came in 5 for his last 9. And I think finally showing flashes now, Rod, of what the Tigers have seen in him and why they have carried him this entire season to this point.
He has a chance to be a legitimate 4 or 5 tool player. That lucky fan caught himself a baseball, getting some high fives, taking pictures and everything. He's a star. But you're absolutely right, Mario. I like his skill set. He can run, he can throw. He's got occasional power. And the more reps he gets, the more he's going to help this team win games. Very difficult, as young as he is, to sit every single day and then be called upon and have success.
And I wonder how difficult it is to evaluate him, really. I mean, it's kind of a lost year in evaluation, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not even concerned about evaluating him this year. They're just trying to help him keep his head above water and not get too frustrated with the lack of playing time.
Frazier hauls that in, 2 gone. By the way, if the Tigers hit 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get yourself a free small order of curly fries. 2 away now. Here is Jeimer Candelario. Candy, a fly ball and a strikeout. And it's a strike right at the knees. Didn't like it. Letting Alan Porter know he didn't like it. Each ball club with 4 hits. Tigers have taken a 2-1 lead.
I'm assuming that Candelario's on base streak is still intact, even though he reached on an error in the first game of the doubleheader.
That time called Sanchez going out. Yeah, we got to get clarification on that. He was on base. That ball was dropped back in the first game. That pop up by the catcher dropped.
Yep.
And Candy reached.
I don't see how you cannot get credit for it, to be honest with you. I mean, he's on base, right?
And he put the ball in play.
I think they discovered the mound visit rule for this cat right here alone, Gary Sanchez, because there's times last year he'd make 4 visits to the mound in 1 inning.
Yeah, no doubt. The 0-1. Swing and a miss.
Might as well call it the Gary Sanchez rule.
But by and large, I don't think it's really affected very many, if any, ball games this year.
I would agree with you 100%. I really haven't seen it come into play. And you know what? It seems like games are quicker this year. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I know Tigers games are quicker this year for a lot of different reasons.
The 0-2. Popped up. Third base side, shallow left field. Kind of a tough play. And it drops. And a run will score. McCann comes in on a bloop double for Candelario.
That's horrible defense there by the Yankees. It really is. I mean, that ball's got to be caught. I mean, you got 3 athletes on the left side of the infield, a shortstop that can run, a third baseman that's athletic, and a left fielder that should have called the ball. The play should have been made by the left fielder, even though he's running along. Maybe not. He's not going to get there. He just whiffed on it.
I will say this. They committed 2 really bad errors in game 1, too. A routine play to Torres at second and that drop pop-up by the catcher. And now this one provides the Tigers with a run, their 3rd of the game. Double in an RBI, so it's not an error, but still. Chance to end the inning. That one has popped up. This one should be caught by Walker. And it is. So the Tigers add 2. They break the tie and lead 3-1. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Fort Austin in the house. Tigers lead game 2 in this doubleheader, 3-1. And now Mike Fiers goes back to the hill here in the 5th inning. Brett Gardner leads it off. Gardner had a triple to knock in the only Yankees run back in the 3rd. '19th RBI of the year for Gardner. That'll miss outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lazy fly ball to left center field. Martin and Reyes. It's going to be Reyes. 1 gone. He joined the Tigers on Sunday, June 10th, when they faced the Indians at 1:10. Arrive early for a special pregame on-field ceremony to present former Tiger Torrey Hunter with the Detroit Tigers Willie Horton African American Legacy Award. If you'd like tickets, go to Tigers.com. Be on hand as we honor Torrey.
And Torrey had a brilliant career in 3 different teams: Minnesota, the Angels, and the Tigers. I don't think I've ever heard one person say one bad word about Torrey Hunter in baseball, and that's rare.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Most of us usually piss somebody off along the way somewhere, don't we?
Okay.
Seriously, I never heard. Have you ever heard anybody say anything bad about Torrey Hunter?
Yeah, Twitter go off every now and then. Well, you asked me. The 0-2. It'll miss low and away. No, he got him. Strike 3. And Judge, all he can do is look at the ground. He has fanned 3 times in this game.
Twice looking. We're going to make it our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. First pitch, breaking ball, comes back with another split change, and then comes back with that fastball at 90 on the outside black. But and Stanton had a little bit of a beef.
Judge has fanned 6 times in the series, so he's had a double header to forget.
Aaron Boone not happy now with the strike zone of Alan Porter.
Sanchez the batter. It'll chop her back to the mound. It eluded. Fiers still have a chance, and they throw him out. Rodney Rodriguez came streaking in to make the play. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning. Fiers gets a little bit of help from Rodney Rodriguez. Nicely done.
He appreciated it too. tied the score at 1. That was back in the 3rd inning. That's a triple off the bat of Brett Gardner. And that drove in 1. And then you had the Tigers coming back in the 4th. And that's a double by McCann. That drives in Martin. And the bloop double off the bat of Jamer and Candelario. That plates McCann. Tigers leading, and the Yankees 3-1 here.
It'll be Cabrera, Martinez, and Goodrum here in the Tiger 5th. Facing Domingo Germán.
I think he seems to be a little upset with himself after that last swing.
Bouncer back towards second, and glove there by Walker. Cabrera now 0 for 3 in the game. They'll bring in Victor Martinez. Germán is used to not getting a whole lot of run support. He's received 1 or 0 runs in 3 of his 4 starts. They've got him 1 today, but he gave up a 2 spot in the 4th. As the Tigers extended the lead 3-1. Victor singled in his last at bat. Fly ball left field. Frazier is there. 2 outs. Hey, the 2018 FIFA World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1 with every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event is just 10 days away right here on Fox and FS1. Goodrum shoots one the other way, base hit. 2-out single for Nico. He'll keep it going for Leonis Martin.
And nice effort by Gleyber Torres.
Big night for Martin. Double, single, 2 runs scored.
Let's see if he takes a pitch or 2 to allow Nico Goodrum to steal a base here. Nico's got good speed, but Germán's also got a pretty quick move. He's slow and deliberate to home plate when he delivers the ball out of the stretch, but he's got a decent move over to first.
Goodrum is 5 out of 6 stolen base attempts. Ball 1. Martin was hitting leadoff exclusively until this homestand when Ron Gardenhire decided that against certain pitchers he would drop him down in the lineup. Candelario has gotten some leadoff assignments. That'll get away. He's going to try and advance, and he will. Wild pitch.
It's a nice job of anticipating by Nico Goodrum. You have to anticipate that the ball is going to bounce because Germán throws lots of breaking balls. And once the ball got away from Sanchez, the catcher, Nico Goodrum in a split second was off and running, and he needed to be off and running because it's a good arm behind the plate that Sanchez possesses. It's nice to be young and fast, isn't it?
He barely made that. It looked like he would get there easily. Sanchez, a good strong throw. Here's the 2-0. He got out in front of that one and belted it down the right field line. That ball is hooking, and it's going to go foul.
Where's that win at? Pushing that ball back into fair territory that's been up there all day long.
Infield play to pull on Martin, who will step out now as Herman takes too long. Tigers have a 2-out shot here and another run. Fly ball left field. Frazier going back to the track in front of the wall to make the catch. No runs to hit, then they'll leave a runner at second. We go to the 6th.
Four times in his career, 0-1 with a 6.2 ERA, yet tonight he is dazzled. Why?
He truly has. He's changing speeds. He's reading these hitters' approach in the batter's box. When they're pulling off, he's going away. And they're standing on the baseball, he's going inside. He's doing an outstanding job of keeping them off balance.
Among the many things we'll be talking about on Tigers Live postgame edition. Back upstairs to the booth, Mario and Rod. He's looking good. Let's get another inning out of him, right?
All right, guys. Yeah, indeed. He's at 86 pitches right now, and he's got Giancarlo Stanton to deal with. Stanton, Torres, and then Andujar. 3-1. Tigers have the lead. Swing and a miss by Stanton. Oh for 1 hit by a pitch by Fiers in his last at bat. Rip foul. Between Judge and Stanton in this game, or I should say this doubleheader, they have struck out 8 times between them. Now the 0-2. Uh-oh. That ball is cannoned out there to left. Way gone.
Ooh, that was an absolute seed.
Man, can he hit him a long way. And hard.
The exit velocity is going to be at least 110. Launch angle's not going to be very high either, though, because that ball was pretty much on the line.
It's 3-2 ball game.
He got ahead of Stanton with a couple of fastballs, and then came back with a breaking ball, and Stanton was waiting for it.
13th of the year for Giancarlo Stanton. His 32nd RBI. Chopped to third base. Right there is Candelario. Torres out.
Fiers hit Stanton his last time up with a fastball that tailed on him. Here's a breaking ball that's at the bottom of the strike zone, and a little bat flip there by Stanton. A little stare down as well for Fiers. I mean, a big bat flip.
Halfway up the stands and left.
That went over the first seat of rows down there.
Andujar looks at a ball outside. 2-0 the count. Couple doubles for Andujar now. 28 extra base hits, more than any other rookie.
Mike Fiers has now given up 12 homers this year.
Highest total on the Tiger staff. And in fact, now Fiers has allowed a home run in 7 of his last 8 starts. The 3-0. Ball 4, and so for the third time Andujar is on. Second walk for Fiers.
And one more look at Stanton crossing home plate. He has his head down. I don't know where he's pointing at. Is he pointing at Fiers, or what is he doing? Pointing at somebody.
He did a little soft shoe around third as well. Little stutter step around the bag. There's a high fly ball, shallow left field, long run for Goodrum. Still going out there, still going out there. Reyes, a diving attempt. Couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, that almost looked identical to the play last half inning that the Yankees were involved in on the defensive end. And the ball that fell in for a bloop double for Jamer Candelario. Nice hustle here by Ray as he leaves his feet. He has the ball in his glove initially, and when the glove hits the ground, it knocks the ball loose.
Neil Walker is 0 for 2. It was a gorgeous afternoon here at the ballpark today. It's turned into a very nice night as well, as we honor number 42, Jackie Robinson night here at Comerica. Runner goes and is slapped foul down the left field line.
It's always an honor for the players to put on number 42. A lot of the players get a chance to learn more about Jackie Robinson on Jackie Robinson Day. Integrated baseball in 1947 with the Brooklyn Dodgers. He was a 4-sport star at UCLA. He did everything. He wasn't just a baseball player.
April 15th was the original Jackie Robinson Day, but that day was rained out here at Comerica. So we make it up here tonight.
And Tigers have Negro League weekend coming up this coming weekend. Torrey Hunter will be honored, given the Willie Horton Legacy Award.
One and 2 on Walker. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Austin waiting on deck. Yankees won the opener 7-4. Tigers lead the nightcap here 3-2. Andujar stumbled back in the bag.
And Mike Fiers at 98 pitches. He's only thrown 100 once this year, and he threw 100 right on the nose. And that was a couple of starts ago in Seattle.
Popped him up.
Damn it.
And that'll go into shallow center field. Who wants it? Martin calling off Goodrum. And there are 2 away now.
Here is our Xfinity, a high-speed pitch on Mike Fiers. Top fastball, 91. He's touched 91 several times. He's gone as low as 71 with that really slow breaking ball. And he's probably thrown a pitch at every speed in between 71 and 91.
Here's Tyler Austin. Fly ball and a strikeout for Austin. Drilled to left field on a line. Reyes can't get it. It'll drop in. It'll be a single for Austin. 2 men on now with 2 outs.
Yeah, that ball was smoked off the bat of Austin. It had some serious top spin on it.
Bit of a tricky play out there in left for Reyes.
And he did a nice job just to stay in front of that ball.
Comes Gardy.
He's right at 100, so he hasn't gone past 100 this year, Mike Fiers.
Tigers will be going to the bullpen here. And Fiers will depart. 100 pitches on the nose. He'll give up the baseball. 2 men on, still his property. And we'll step aside. Pitching change here in Detroit.
In 1957, Jackie Robinson and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. received honorary degrees from Howard University.
And on Jackie Robinson Day here at Comerica Park, number 42 is honored. And number 42 on the retired number wall of every stadium in Major League Baseball now.
It used to be where just a handful of guys would wear number 42 on Jackie Robinson Day, but now with the number being retired, everybody in the league wears 42. Even the umpires wear 42.
Lewis Coleman has come on now with 2 men on, and he delivers a strike to Clint Frazier.
And Coleman throws from that tricky arm slot. It's a low 3/4 arm slot, borderline sidearm. He's got a 2-seam fastball. He also has a little cutter and a little breaking ball that pretty much moves east to west because of the arm slot. Not a lot of depth on Coleman's breaking pitch.
And again, he threads the needle 0-2.
Tough assignment when he starts on the first base side of the rubber and he steps toward third base. And then he throws across his body, but still able to throw that fastball on the outside black.
That one a little bit too far outside and would not offer with Frazier. Coleman got the win on Saturday in the contest against Toronto with a scoreless inning. 3-0 on the season. Only 2 earned runs allowed. Stanton's home run has made it 3-2. Didn't offer now 2-2 on Frazier. Top of the order, Brett Gardner waiting on deck. Outside, now he's going full 3-2.
Yeah, that's the last thing you wanted to do if you're Coleman. Now the runners get the chance to get a early start.
Andujar and Austin, the base runners. They're on the move, and there is ball 4. That will load the bases. Again, the Yankees have them full. They left them loaded in the 3rd. Now you got to deal with Brett Gardner.
And he's probably been their hottest hitter lately. Batting at about a 380 clip over the course of the last 18 games. Scoring a lot of runs.
Tripled in a run in his 2nd at bat of the night.
If you can get him to swing at something up in the strike zone, you might get him to pop it up.
Popped him up. Shallow left field. It's going to be Reyes, and that'll take care of the side. So they will settle for 1 run. The home run by Stanton on our way to the bottom of the 6th. As they go for the splits in this doubleheader, Mario and Rod back here at the ballpark. And Rod, when you look at this one, you look at Mike Fiers, and he did give up the home run to Stanton, but he was kind of able to navigate his way through a pretty tough lineup.
Well, this is what he's pretty much done since putting on a Tigers uniform. He'll give you a fastball upstairs. He'll tease you with the breaking ball down. He'll give you an occasional split changeup. He never gives into the strike zone, and that's one of the reasons why he gets lots of soft contact, keeps hitters off balance.
And the Tigers trying to get a win here and finish off what has been a really good homestand. When you look at what the Tigers have done on the stand, if they win this game tonight, you come home and win 8 of 12. That's pretty good work.
Especially after struggling on that last road trip. For whatever reason, they play their best baseball right here at Comerica Park. They're never out of any game for the most part.
Tigers also battled in game one. They were down 7-1, got it to 7-4, scored a couple of runs in the ninth, but fell short.
And they ran into one of the best right-handed pitchers in baseball today, Luis Severino, who started the first game of the doubleheader today. His fastball got all the way up to 100 miles an hour. As a matter of fact, Severino was 108 pitches in, still throwing triple digits. That's rare these days. Most guys lose a little something on their fastball during the course of the game.
It's been a good night for McCann. He's had a walk, a double, an RBI, and a run scored.
Yeah, there's Severino.
Fourth time this year that Severino has struck out 10 or more.
And he's done it against some good teams. Boston once, Houston twice. Meanwhile, Herman doing a pretty nice job out there as well. He's only given up 6 hits, not a lot of hard contact. Kept the hitters off balance with a mixture of two-seam fastballs that have gotten up to 96, and that curveball, which has been a big weapon for him.
Full count on McCann. That ball lifted in the air to right field, and it's going to be Judge. McCann is retired. Here is the Ram pick the stick update.
Look out, Simo. He's got 5 points.
Keats has a couple. Everybody else, not a whole lot.
Well, wasn't a whole lot going on in game one either with Severino on the mound.
Here is Ronnie Rodriguez. Sac fly, picked up an RBI in his first at bat. He looks at a strike, 0-1. Ronnie never got a shot to play in the big leagues with Cleveland. 7 years in their minor league system. There's that big rip.
Yeah, tough lineup to crack in Cleveland with those talented middle infielders that they have. Ramirez, Kipnis, and Lindor. Nowhere to go.
Fly ball hit well to center field. And Gardner runs it down. Welcome to center field at Comerica Park. 2 gone. That'll bring up Victor Reyes. Reyes 2 fly balls tonight, 0 for 2.
I'd like to see Reyes bunt a little bit more when he does get in games. He does have that as being part of his weapon. But I do not remember seeing him bunt for a base hit in the limited playing time he's gotten this year.
I don't either, but they say one of his tools certainly is speed, so why not? What kind of power numbers would you project for Reyes?
Don't quite know yet because we really haven't seen him hit for a whole lot of power this year or in spring training. But I would think that as he matures and gets bigger and stronger, he might be a guy that could hit 10 to 12 to 15 homers.
And Herman makes a nice play for a 1-2-3 6th inning on our way to the 7th.
Night doubleheader. The story of Game 1 from Detroit's perspective was young Sandy Baez making his major league debut. He pitched 4 1/3 innings of hitless, scoreless relief. Along the way, he also struck out Giancarlo Stanton. He doesn't speak much English, but asking him after the game about the ball and Stanton, he smiled immediately and said that baseball, which has been saved, will accompany him wherever he goes for the rest of his life. Mario, Rod?
All right, Keats, baseball is la pelota. Write that down, pelota. Pelota. You can ask him next time, where's the pelota?
Okay.
And Baez out there chilling now with the bullpen coach, Rick Anderson.
Judge leading it off here in the 7th. Numbers on Sandy Baez in Game 1 were really impressive. Fouled back out of play by Judge, 0-2. Do you know the top selling jersey last year in Major League Baseball was
Mike Trout?
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
That's going to be top this year. Ohtani is going to top that number this year, I believe.
The 0-2. Judge has fanned 3 times in this game. 0 for 7 in the doubleheader. Lewis Coleman came on to get the final out of the 8th. He slings that one outside, 2-2. When Judge was in high school playing football, he received scholarship offers on the gridiron from UCLA, Stanford, Notre Dame. Most of the biggies. And he went around. Strike 3. Judge has struck out 4 times tonight. It's a tough night.
That's a really tough night.
From now until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow night, purchase any June through August University Days ticket package for as little as $29, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. All packages include a mezzanine ticket, FSD University Days themed hat, and a $5 donation. Tigers.com/summer break. Gary Sanchez, the batter. Eight at bats in this doubleheader for Judge, 7 of them resulting in a strikeout. And we mentioned that he struck out over 200 times last year, so that's part of the package, but everything else that comes with it's pretty good. Two-0 to Sanchez.
Good pitch. A little breaking ball. A little frisbee slider.
Three and 1. Got action. Chad Green warming up. Sanchez in line of a long list of really good catchers in Yankees history. They had Yogi Berra, of course, Posada, Thurman Munson, to name a few. Bill Dickey is on that list of really good catchers. Sanchez has, at least early on in his career, been more of an offensive catcher. The 3-1 high ball 4.
And time for the DTE Energy Know Your Own Power. You may remember this back in 2014 of September. Fires hit Stanton in the face and felt horrible about it. Anybody that hits anybody feels horrible about it. Well, he clipped him again today, and Stanton didn't really appreciate it, even though Fires did not hit him on purpose. And the next time up, a breaking ball that traveled out of the yard, and a little black flip there from Stanton, and kind of took his time running around the bases.
Stanton's home run was his 13th of the year. got off to a bit of a slow start, 230 in the month of April. We saw an example of his massive power in the last at bat. One and two.
You would think that more teams would throw Stanton right where this last fastball was. With his closed off stance, it seems like it would be difficult to catch up with a fastball in the inner third of home plate, because basically your hips are already tied up. But this guy still does a lot of damage, but I'd pitch him inside. I wouldn't go away from him. And once he gets those arms extended, that's where he does major damage.
Gleyber Torres on deck. The Yankees have the tying run on with a 1-out walk. But they've stranded 8 men in this game so far.
How about a ground ball?
I'll take it. Now he's gone 3-2.
I don't think Sanchez will be moving here. He doesn't run well. And really no need for him to start, because if the ball's hit on the ground, the Tigers will still have a chance to go to second base before Sanchez gets there.
Swing and a miss. Stanton down on strikes. 2 gone.
Yeah, just about every pitch was away, with the exception of the fastball 89 up and in that he swung at. Then he went soft. I mean, a lot softer, and with 83 right off the fingertips to get Stanton out in front.
Two outs now for Gleyber Torres. He is 0 for 3 in this game. There is more action in the Tigers bullpen. There's Big Joe. Man, 0-2. Ooh, too far outside. No way Torres would offer it that one. Coleman came on in the 6th inning, walked a batter to load the bases. Then he got Gardner to fly out. He has picked up 2 strikeouts here in the 7th. Coleman now has thrown 27 pitches. Torres hit 9 of his 10 home runs in the month of May. He homered in game 1 of the doubleheader. That was off Drew Verhagen the other way when the Yankees scored 6 times in the 4th. I don't know what this conversation's about. Swing and a miss. Coleman got him to chase. Down goes the bat. Coleman strikes out the side. Coming up, a Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. Here the Tigers in the lead. Earlier tonight we had Al Avila speaking with us right after they selected Casey Mize as the #1 overall pick, and we asked Mr. Avila, when exactly did they know that Casey was their man?
We were following him and several other players throughout the past year, going into the spring, and then we all started to meet here earlier last week, and we ended up making our final decision this weekend, just yesterday before today's draft, and obviously it was a consensus between all the scouts and all the cross checkers that we have here.
The words of Al Avila, and they decided just yesterday that Casey Mize would be their man. That ball popped up to shallow right field. Walker will haul it in. One away. So I know Tigers fans should be excited about Casey Mize because of the fact that he's so close to being big league ready. But this guy, I don't think there was any question, Rod, was probably the consensus best player out there.
No question about that. And I don't think it was close. I mean, I had some other players, some position players that went 2 and 3 that we knew were going to go in the very first round, but no one like Casey Mize. Yeah, I see you, Nick. They do too.
Castellanos is 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch in the first inning.
And Nicholas hasn't gone over very much this year.
Meanwhile, Domingo Germán is still out there for the Yankees. He has thrown a total of 92 pitches. 0-2.
Well, here's where Nicholas Castellanos will basically take what is given to him. If Germán stays away, he'll try to shoot that hole on the right side of the infield. It's a big hole for Nicholas. We'll see if he does it.
2 gone.
Not this time.
Third strikeout for Germán. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Go to MLB.tv for details. Now Cabrera with 2 outs. Ripped down the left field line. Fair ball to the corner it goes. Miggy will have himself a double. 2-out, 2-bagger.
And Miguel got an 86-mile-per-hour changeup that he got out in front of and ripped it down to the left field corner. And for his second double of the day.
It's going to be it for Germán. That runner at second base, his responsibility, but a pretty good job tonight for their right-hander. And we'll be back. Just doubled. Miguel Cabrera has doubled down the line, and back to the bullpen go the Yankees. Wall side windows pitching change. And just off the disabled list, Adam Warren.
Adam checks in with a 3.24 earned run average, 11 strikeouts, just 4 walks. Been in 8 games this year, but boy, is he a mainstay in their bullpen, and he was good last year.
This Yankees bullpen leads the league in strikeouts. And now Victor Martinez will come strolling in here. Walk single and a fly out. Domingo Germán hoping they can strand that runner at second. Tigers need some insurance. Before the game, they activated Warren off the DL and optioned Tommy Kahnle. Ball 1 missing inside as it made Martinez dance. (3-2). Tigers have the lead. They have out hit the Yankees 7-6. Now the 1-0. 2-0 on Martinez.
Remember that the 2 Sports star I was telling you about, Kyler Murray of Oklahoma?
I do.
He went with the 9th pick today. Oakland took him with the 9th pick. He's scheduled to be the starting quarterback at Oklahoma this year.
Can have a tough choice.
Well, I have a feeling they might make it a little easier for him, taking him at that high a draft choice.
Ripped right down the line. This will get another run in. It'll go to the wall. Martinez on his way to second, chugging in with a double.
Big run.
2 out, doubles by Cabrera and Martinez.
And that's a breaking ball. That's down and in to Victor. He gets out in front of it and rips it right through the shift. And down all the way to the left field corner by the time a Judge picks it up. Victor coasting in the second. Mickey no problem scoring.
Machado will come in and pinch run. Tigers lead by 2 now, 4-2. Here is Goodrum. That run is charged to the starter Germán. So his line is complete. Snap throw back down to second, bouncing in. That is 8 Tigers hits now. They lead 4-2.
And a little extra breathing room for Joe Jimenez, who will probably come in and pitch the 8th.
Here's the 2-0. That'll miss outside. 3-0. So Warren, who is on the disabled list, struggling here now. 3-0.
I'd green light Nico Goodrum here. And let him swing at a fastball if Warren decides to throw him one.
Warren last pitched in a big league game on April 20th before going on the DL. Another strike. Nico thought he had a walk. 3-2. There's your walk. Ball 4, and now 3 straight of reach with 2 outs. Fans say Tigers head to Beantown tomorrow night. All of your game coverage begins with Tigers Live at 6. Tigers Red Sox tomorrow night at 6 right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Yeah, the good buddies, Nicholas Castellanos and JD Martinez is squaring off.
JD Martinez is having a lights out year. In fact, so is Castellanos. They're both doing real well. Well, let's see now if the Tigers get some more here. Martin steps in.
You'd be hard pressed to find a better hitter in baseball, all-around hitter than JD Martinez these days. A guy that hits for that much power, that much average, drives in that many runs, that doesn't strike out very often. He is one of the best all-around hitters in baseball right now.
The 0-1 way outside, and 1 ball and 1 strike.
There's some other really good hitters as well. Altuve obviously comes to mind. Mike Trout. I like George Springer as well in Houston. Some good players out there. Mookie Betts. But JD Martinez, you look at his overall body of work the last year, no one's been better.
One and 2 on Leonis, who let it all hang out there. Single, double, and 2 runs scored for Martin. Tigers making their first and only visit to Fenway Park. 3-game series, then it's right back home for a couple of teams coming in. 2 series homestand. 2-2.
It's been a long homestand for Detroit with just a 3-day trip, and they come right back to the house.
Well, that's a good thing because the Tigers have played really well here at home. Upcoming matchups presented by Wallside Windows. These are the series matchups against Boston.
No Price, no Sale. No Porcello.
Wright, Rodriguez, and Pomerantz. So the Tigers will not see the bigger stars in that rotation for the Red Sox. 3-2 now on Leonis. McCann on deck. Pickoff throw, quick tag, not in time though. He puts that ball on the bag and they probably get Machado. And he walked him. That's going to load the bases. 2 doubles, 2 walks after the first 2 men were retired.
Yeah, nice day today for Leonis Martin. A double, a single, a walk, a couple of runs scored.
Now McCann, who's had a pretty good day, double, walk, RBI. He has scored a run. And he could break this one open here.
Yeah, be ready to hit that first pitch fastball if he gives it to you.
Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on James. McCann did not catch the opener, but he's able to go here in game 2. Had the intercostal strain after coming out of the ball game the other day, and fortunately it wasn't enough to keep him out. Now the 0-2. High pop up, shallow right field for Judge, and the Tigers will settle for 1 run. Big run though. 4-2 ball game at Tigers baseball, presented by Bell Tire. We talked with Al Avila shortly after they selected Casey Mize with the #1 overall pick in the June draft, and Al talks about the importance of drafting Mize and what they like about him.
If you look at his overall numbers in college, and particularly this year, they're outstanding. They're really off the charts. And his repertoire of pitches are excellent. They're all either plus or plus pitches with a mid-90s fastball, the slider, the split finger changeup, the cutter. So he's got a good repertoire, and he's got a good idea of how to pitch. And obviously, the strikeout ratio to walks is it's off the charts. So you put all that together, and you have an advanced pitching prospect.
Well, certainly a busy night for Al and the entire staff down there in Lakeland, so we thanked him for joining us a little bit earlier in the broadcast tonight after they selected Casey Mize #1 overall.
And Casey Mize's numbers in his junior season just dominant in the SEC.
4-2 ball game here is Miguel Andujar, and he will get things started in the 8th. Facing Joe Jimenez out of the Tigers bullpen. He slings home a strike, 0-1. Jose Iglesias has come in to tighten things up defensively at short. What? 0-2.
Jimenez has been awfully steady out of the Tigers bullpen. He pretty much owns the 8th inning. He's pitching in his 32nd game, which is up there with the tops in the league. At 2.54 ERA is special with 28 strikeouts. He's only walked 7.
Ooh. Jimenez thought he had strike 3. Did not get the call. 1-2.
I guess it was outside, according to Alan Porter.
High chop to first base, fair ball, fielded by Miggy, 1 gone. Andujar retired for the first time in this game. We'll bring up Neil Walker. Tip of the cap to Lewis Coleman. Good work tonight out of the Tigers bullpen.
Yeah, it looks like when the team is winning games, he's going to be the guy that gets the ball in the 7th inning. At least that's the way it's been the last couple of times. A veteran reliever with some experience has done a nice job.
Both clubs now have stranded 9 men in this ball game. Walker is 0 for 3. Here's the 1-0. The Yankees interrupted their road trip to play this doubleheader here today. They're on their way to Toronto after this game tonight. Then they will go play the Mets. Tigers again, a short 3-game trip into Boston.
Yeah, travel not too bad for the Yankees. Yeah, when they leave here, just a short trip over to Toronto.
But there's customs.
Yeah. You don't think the Yankees get a chance to go through customs?
Probably not. I don't think so. You ever try and go through customs? Tell them, hi, I'm Rod Allen.
It used to be no. Back in the day, though. I mean, before some of the the restrictions and different things like that. I mean, a couple of Randy Johnson baseballs got you right through customs when the Diamondbacks rolled through there. That's all we had to have. A couple of Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson's baseballs, we zoomed right on through.
2-2. The count on Walker. Swing and a miss, and Jimenez with a strikeout. 2 gone. Here's our game summary tonight on Andujar. 2 out of 3, couple of doubles. Stanton is homered, but Martinez had a big game.
He really has. And meanwhile, Joe just continues to do his job in the 8th inning.
Here's Tyler Austin. Tigers pitching tonight with 10 strikeouts. Single and 3 at bats for Austin.
Ooh, 98. Easy 98. Real nice, smooth, clean delivery. The ball just explodes out of Joe's hand.
Jimenez has tied Diaz of Seattle, their closer in games this year, with 32. Swing and a miss. Joe Jimenez dominant here in the 8th.
Look out, Joe.
A split of this doubleheader. They lead 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's going to be Ronnie Rodriguez, Victor Reyes, Jeimer Candelario. Tigers have 4 runs, 8 hits, and the Yankees 2 runs on 6 hits. Shane Green will be coming in for the Tigers in the 9th. Breaking ball is swung right through. 1-2 now on Ronnie Rodriguez. Warren came on, gave up a double, walked 2, but then got the final out in the 7th. Tigers added a big insurance run. 2-2. Fly ball center field. Gardner on his horse will get there. 1 gone. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise our expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. And by Tim Hortons. Purchase coffee at Tim Hortons on June 6th and send a deserving child to camp. 1 away now as Victor Reyes shows bunt. Looks at a strike. 0-1. He is 0 for 3 in the game. Now Victor down to count 0-2. Not sure he agreed with that last call.
Every time you walk into the Tigers clubhouse, there's Victor Reyes sitting in his locker, very quiet, very patient, doesn't say a whole lot. And typically that's the way rookies handle themselves in the major leagues.
Victor on Thursday was home run shy of the cycle. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive.
Although a lot of the clubhouses these days are getting a lot younger. Not as many veteran players around as it used to be. Rosters are a lot younger. A lot of controllable players.
I think in Victor's case, he is a quiet guy by nature as well. The 0-2. And again, fighting one off, staying alive. Candelario waiting on deck. Couple of veterans there. Miggy, Liriano, and there is strike 3, and Reyes caught looking, 2 gone. That'll bring up Candelario.
Have you heard any word on Liriano? Is it pretty much going to be just 10 days, or do you think that my hamstring might linger? Have they said?
Haven't heard. I haven't heard Gardy talk about it, nor have I asked him, to be honest. But Liriano, just one of a myriad of guys that have gone on the DL for the Tigers. Jordan Zimmerman has been throwing in the bullpen and simulated games.
Yeah, they can control his workload a little bit easier when he's throwing the simulated games, getting up and getting down.
He was throwing one in tandem the other day with Wilson. Here's Zim. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Candy had a bloop double in the 4th to drive in a run. He's 1 for 4. 1-2. Yankees will have 9-1-2 coming up when we get to the ninth, which means Judge will get at least one more at bat.
You think he wants it?
I'm not sure. He has struck out 4 times tonight.
I've been there before. I mean, obviously at the minor league level, but you get up there for that 4th at bat, you struck out 3 times. Really, all you want to do is just put the ball in play. You don't want to strike out. That's all.
So then, what is it like when you've struck out 4 times and you go up there for the 5th time?
Well, you're really fighting. You're really scrambling. I never struck out 5 times in the game. I struck out 4 times in the game before, though.
Way high, 3-2.
And Candy's been getting underneath some balls here last couple days. He's been popping up. He's got to get back to that really good line drive stroke.
He'll take his walk. See, 3rd walk for Warren since coming on. It'll give Castellanos another shot. Nick 0 for 3, hit by a pitch. Way outside. Nice snag there by Sanchez. Nick in the opener, 2 out of 4 with an RBI. He sits safely in 8 of his last 9. Among the league's best hitters. There's a strike called, 1-1. In a game in which consistency is so hard and elusive sometimes, Castellanos with 19 hits on this homestand.
And he's been pretty much getting the best of the opposing pitcher every single night. I mean, because Miggy hasn't been in the lineup all that often. So it's been Castellanos that they've been zeroing in on.
Roll towards second, and Walker throws him out to retire the side, which means Shane Green will come on in the 9th inning, protecting a 2-run lead.
Alongside Craig Monroe, I'm Matt Shepard. This has been a dynamite game. If Detroit can hold on here with Shane Green closing it out, what's it mean to this team to beat one of the best teams in baseball?
Well, I just think it tells you guys that this team is going to be a gritty team. They're not going to quit. They're not going to give up. And we've seen it today that this team continues to play their best baseball. We've seen them beat the Angels here. Now we're getting a chance, hopefully, to see them finish this game off against the Yankees. This team here is young, but yet very dangerous.
Among the many things we'll discuss on Tigers Live postgame edition, why a guy like Mike Fiers can be more difficult to face than a flamethrower. But first, the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the Yankees lineup in the 9th, Mario and Rod.
All right, Shep, thank you. Well said. Windows pitching change. That means the closer is on now. Shane Green will come in.
And Green has a fastball that will get up to 96. Every now and then he might touch 97, but he just might touch it. He's got a really nice breaking ball, and he's got a cutter. So basically 3 pitches thrown by Shane Green.
Aaron Hicks will pinch hit for the number 9 hitter, Clint Frazier. Hicks started the opener. And he slices one to left. It's going to drop. Base hit. A pinch hit single for Hicks.
Hicks jumps on the first pitch fastball from Green in the mid-90s. That's what you have to do as a pinch hitter. When you come off that bench cold, you want to hit the first strike you get.
Here is Brett Gardner. Gardner has a triple and an RBI in this game. Yankees now have 7 hits. Tying run coming to the plate.
If you're Shane Green, you just want to get as many outs as you can before the really big boys start coming to the dish.
Well, that's on deck. Judge.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Ball 1.
When Shep said 9-1-2, you kind of thinking, oh, they got a couple table setters, but then you look at that number 2 spot. It's Aaron Judge.
He ain't setting table. He's cleaning, although not tonight.
Right.
Green now with the 1-0 pitch. There's Judge waiting on deck. Oh, wow. Knocked down, but he can't find it. That'll advance the runner. McCann did all he could, but Hicks will move up on a wild pitch.
And McCann had no shot at trying to catch his breaking ball. Luckily, it hit off the foot of Alan Porter. But Hicks was only going to get 90 feet anyway.
2-1. Line foul. 2-2 now on Brett Gardner.
And Shane Green going up against his former teammates. He started his major league career as a starter in the Yankee system. Pitched a couple of really good games against the Tigers a few years ago. And the next year, he was wearing the Tigers uniform.
Involved in that deal with Didi Gregorius, who is now a Yankee. Robbie Ray went to the Diamondbacks.
All 3 teams did well in that deal.
Sure did. Ooh, look out, way inside, and again he had a dance. Full count now, 3-2. Lead off pinch hit single by Hicks. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Gardner is out of there. One gone.
And speaking of swinging and missing, Aaron Judge has done a bunch of that today. 8 at-bats today, 7 punch-outs. Here are the 7 strikeout pitches. Fiers got him 3 times. Coleman got him.
The 7 strikeouts by Judge ties the major league record for strikeouts in a doubleheader. 7. Shea Hillenbrand, the last to do it back in 05.
Well, he might as well go ahead and break it then. He can hold it by himself.
He is 1 strikeout away from doing so. Ball 1.
I know he has punched out a lot today, but he is still a very dangerous threat. And the reason why he's a dangerous threat is because he can hit the ball out of any part of this ballpark. Usually you say, well, make him hit it to center field. 420, Death Valley out there. He ain't going to hit it out. But Judge has that kind of power.
Good pitch inside part of the plate. 1-1.
It froze him.
Judge could not pull the trigger. 4-2. Tigers have the lead. We're in the 9th. 1 on, 1 out.
And Jamer Candelario down at third base, hugging that third baseline, protecting against a double, and down that way.
Big swing. 1-2 on Judge.
There's Candy. Ain't nothing gonna get between him and that line, that's for sure.
Time call now by Judge.
Tigers outfielders, all 3 guys playing really deep. No doubles depth.
Reyes at left field is almost in the bullpen.
Right. He can have a conversation with him, that's for sure. Punch him out, Greeny.
Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Judge. Sanchez waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Judge has struck out 5 times in this game and a record 8 times for a doubleheader. 2 gone.
Yeah, got him with a breaking ball. 3 strikeouts swinging, 2 looking. And for Aaron Judge in the nightcap here.
1 more out to get. Here is Gary Sanchez. Two walks, otherwise 0 for 2 for Sanchez. Now time is called. It's a good visit here by McCann. Sanchez can beat you with the long ball. Stanton on deck. Ball 1. Tigers headed a huge insurance run in the 7th inning. RBI double by Victor Martinez. Judge did not have a good night tonight. Nor did that one. In there, strike called, 1-1.
Yeah, couple of good fastballs, that mid-90s fastballs to Sanchez inside.
He's only faced Green once, over one with a strikeout. Shane trying to lock this one down. It would be his 15th save. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Down the right field line, slicing foul. 2-2 on Gary Sanchez. Tigers pitching tonight with 13 strikeouts. Might as well finish off Sanchez here. And he does. Struck him out, and the Tigers get the split. Shane Green strikes out the side. Stay tuned. Tigers Live postgame for the Coliseum Studios coming up next.